today as far as, going live while I'm commuting to work. So, I had some hiccups, had to hang up because one of the kids couldn't find something, and also was nervous because I guess a cop pulled somebody over for blowing the stop sign in front of my house and didn't, got a little nervous. So, yeah. So being a dad obviously comes first. So I had to jump off and take care of that. And then, it was a little choppy service when I tried to jump back on. So, but I wanted to come back on and talk to you guys about the Rams-Bengals game. And this was part 2 of Get Right Monday for the Alpha wideouts, namely Ja'Marr Chase, who had just an insane 12 for 141. Listen, there was never any doubt that Ja'Marr Chase was going to get his numbers. He's just way too good. I know that there's issues with this passing attack right now because Joe Burrow is not healthy, and Burrow did not throw for a touchdown pass in this one. And really, so 2 out of 3 games now, he's been shut out in terms of touchdown passes. And for a guy who doesn't really run that much, I mean, he'll run on occasion, but for a guy who doesn't run that much, he's sort of touchdown yardage dependent. He was under 300 yards, 1 touchdown pass. 0 touchdown passes. And, again, just not what you're looking for the price that you paid to get Joe Burrow onto your team. So, this is just not, what you anticipated coming into the season. You thought, oh, wow, I got Joe Burrow. I got one of the best quarterbacks in fantasy football. Like, I'm good, And then Ja'Marr Chase owners. How many Ja'Marr Chase owners who passed on Christian McCaffrey or even took him over Justin Jefferson? Because I even thought about that, but, when the summer started, there were quite a few people that did that as well, having some regrets and whatnot. But listen, he's going to get numbers. The question now, though, with Chase is how many touchdowns is it going to, result in? That's the problems. How many touchdowns is Chase going to get, and how long is this going to go on with Joe Burrow struggling with, with his calf there? Now, T. Higgins, second rough game out of 3. He only went 2 for 21. Joe Mixon, 19 for 65. He did score a touchdown on 1 catch. So Joe Mixon, he's in the second phase of his career. He's fading. He's workload dependent. He still has no competition really for touches. So that's good as far as Joe Mixon is concerned. But yeah, Joe Burrow, 26 of 49, just one interception. Not good. On the Rams side, Matthew Stafford, 2 interceptions and a touchdown. Puka Nacua, 5 for 72. So this was as believe it or not, by far his worst game, and it was still a decent outing. But I think defenses are going to start getting smart when it comes to Puka Nacua, and maybe rolling a safety his way, to try to bottle him up going forward. The other thing is Kyren Williams. So I took a lot of flack. So I've entered in more debate about Kyren Williams over the last week than I have any player so far this season. All right, some people were not happy with my takes on him. After his really good start to the season. There's no doubt about it. But the reservations I've had with Kyren Williams, couple of things. He doesn't, and I've said this before, sorry if I'm repeating myself, he doesn't have, impressive speed. He only ran a 4.62 at the combine, which is not good for a running back. He doesn't have breakaway speed. And he, too, he's going to be dependent on catches, and he's going to be dependent on goal line touches, getting touchdowns. Now, yesterday, when he doesn't have either one of those things, you get an outing like yesterday for Kyren Williams. 10 for 38 on the ground, so obviously 3.8 per carry. And then only 2 catches. He had 27 yards, so, he made the most of the 2 catches, but just a tad over 8 fantasy points in PPR. I said maybe entertain the idea of selling high on him after week 2. I would still, if there's still interest in him, and there should be because his first 2 weeks were good and he doesn't have much competition right now, I would entertain the idea of selling Kyren Williams again. I'm just not that impressed with him. I'm sorry. I'm just not that impressed with him. So, but again, it was a really good comeback day for A.J. Brown, really good comeback day for Ja'Marr Chase. And now we have, already fantasy football week 5 coming up quickly. Thursday night, Detroit, Green Bay. That should be fun. That's always a fun game between those two teams. Hopefully we get Aaron Jones back, because that's why I freaking lost in my work league, because Aaron Jones being out, and I had to go Josh Kelly with his bullshit, 12 yards and 11 carries. Just a disastrous outing for Joshua Kelly. But, yeah, so that's, and then, of course, we have the Jets and the Chiefs. How many points? I mean, what's I don't even know what the spread is on that game. What was it, like 15? I mean, I can't even imagine how bad that game, and if you're a Patrick Mahomes owner, like you have to resign yourself to the fact that he might take a seat again late in the third quarter, because that game is going to be such a blowout, just like the Bears game. So, that's the one thing that can be detrimental in fantasy when you have a really good team, really good offense, is that they could take a seat. Like I had Josh Allen, that robbed me of points that, again, I could have won my work league. But them's the breaks, right? We all have to deal with that. But anyway, getting back to Derrick Henry, I really do think you need to get Tyjae Spears off waivers this week. I have Josh Palmer number one. Tank Dell one, if he's still available. Josh Palmer number two. I think CJ Stroud is like number three. And I think you got to get Tyjae Spears as a proactive move in case Derrick Henry gets traded or gets phased out. Because, again, he's 29. This team is broken. The offense is a joke. I mean, Ryan Tannehill is so bad right now, it's not even funny. And I hate to say that, but it's just facts. So, not what you want to see. And but Derrick Henry, listen, he was so good for so long. He's getting less than 50% of the snaps in 2 out of 3 games so far. I think it's time that the Titans entertain trading him. I know they went all in again on this season with DeAndre Hopkins, giving it one more chance with Ryan Tannehill, but it's just not working. So, again, you want to be ahead of the curve when it comes to these moves, and that's one that's easy for me to see there, especially in a PPR league, because Tyjae Spears can catch the ball. So pick up Tyjae Spears off waivers this week. All right, guys, so I'm going to head in now. A 2-part live stream this morning. So, again, sorry about the interruption, but, when your kid's calling you 3 times in a row, you gotta jump off and check out what's going on. But, yeah, everything was fine. It's just the cop pulled somebody over in front of my house, gave him a ticket, and she thought, uh-oh, something bad happened. But it was fine, so... Anyway, so we will chat later, live stream later, probably around 6:15 Eastern time. Going to go over the Waiver Wire Tuesday and take your questions in the chat. Have a great day, guys. I will chat with you soon.